Welcome back, episode. We didn't change it, but it's episode 79 of This Just My Work podcast. What are you talking about? Dilly's fucking around. What are you doing?
He doesn't like the headphones, but then he doesn't, and then he does, and he doesn't.
They were on like maximum, which is awesome. I love it. But
So why'd you change it?
Be good for my hearing. I'm trying to look out for my hearing.
It's always an excuse with this boy.
Always something.
Turn it all the way back up.
All right.
I gotta prove.
No.
No, that's fine. Okay, here
Well,
we are.
Welcome everybody. We're gonna be a day late, but that's okay.
Day late.
It was
short.
Easter Sunday, so we didn't want to record on that. We were busy, so didn't
Gotta
even
praise
ask
the
about
Lord.
that. Gotta praise the Lord. He rose, so you know we got
Lord is risen.
Lord has risen. So,
Hallelujah.
it was a good day. How was your Easter? You can just sum it up real quick. But.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. Cousins, parents, so aunt and uncle were in town, hung out with them. And then, ladies' parents were also in town, so hung out with pretty much all them.
Busy day for you.
Yeah, did some fly fishing and stuff with that with
Nice.
ladies' day.
How was that?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was good.
Was it difficult?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience.
Right.
It wasn't the world's
First
worst.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fly fishing, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that would be something. I would have no fucking idea what the hell I'm doing. Can you just have your Frozen one, right? You have your Disney Frozen.
Oh, you talk about the
fishing pole? Yeah.
Yeah, I always got that thing on me. You know, the cast
whips it out.
cast goes like 20 feet, just enough. To
No, like 5. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
and
No, I
then
don't
gets
have.
tangled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Terrible line.
I don't have a frozen pole. Anybody out there?
All right,
just saying
anyway,
that.
what did you guys do for your Easter?
We had it was fucking awesome.
It was so cool, actually.
It was a really random thing. It was really random Easter, but it was a good Easter.
Good.
Well, food, breakfast, fire.
Yep.
My girlfriend made homemade.
Y'all go to church?
No, we didn't.
Wow.
Dude, we're garbage, dude. Honestly.
Terrible people.
That is messed up.
Hey, I prayed, so
Yeah,
that
that's
counts,
all
right?
it is. Yeah, that counts.
It's better than nothing.
Doesn't probably.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
count.
fair.
That's true.
So talk to him.
Yep.
He rose right as I awakened. You know what I mean? So it was
That's it.
double
That is
on.
all.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we had breakfast, and my girlfriend made homemade cinnamon rolls.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely fucking insane. She crushed
Nice.
it. They were so good. And then she made a quiche, homemade quiche,
Nice.
homemade cinnamon rolls.
Quiche is really good.
Then we had
Underrated.
some fruit on the side. And then we had this drink. And I'll just get into that right after I finish what we said, or what we did on Easter. And we went to, Dilly, what do we do? I'll let you talk a little bit. Because you were there too, actually.
This is pretty cool. I wanted to go. Well,
Third wheel. You wanted to go third wheel.
My life's a third wheel. I swear to God at this point. But it was really good.
Only if you fucking keep saying that.
I know, but anyways, we'll get into that. But I wanted to go to the old Idaho penitentiary, right? Which you would like. Don't laugh because
No, I'm laughing because my cousin took her parents there when they visited too.
really?
Actually,
Yeah.
really.
They went on Saturday.
we went on Sunday.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
continue.
Next day.
That's why I'm laughing, not because it was
Oh,
like I
okay.
think it's lame. I was just like, wow, coincidence.
Right.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was super cool. You like it definitely. It was. Oh my God, it was crazy. We walked. It was just like you step back in time, like Tanner was saying that. I mean, of course, there's people there all the time, but it looks like it's untouched because everything's just concrete, pretty much. So
Right.
it's like, it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was pretty cool. I think because it was under operation from like the 1880s to like the 1971 was its
Oh,
final
wow.
year.
Yeah.
So not too long ago, 50
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
but not too long ago. So it was it was crazy to see all the cells, and they had
it looked like everything was frozen in time, like they had.
yeah, that's for sure.
Because they're still writing. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
what that room was called.
A cell?
No.
The prison cell. No, the fucking where they had the glass.
The
and
execution room?
Yeah.
Oh, the gallows.
Is that what it was called? The
The
gallows.
gallows, yeah.
But essentially it was just like a trap door, and they would put a noose on the top.
Yeah.
and
They'd
so
hang
they'd
people,
drop
and there was just a
just
window for
yeah,
people
this-
to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, the standard gallows.
Right.
Yeah, because
Crazy.
it used to be a public event. Like the whole town would show up for
Right.
executions.
It's crazy.
It'd be like, okay, pack your picnics.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
to
Yeah,
think
there was
about.
like a lot of civilian deaths in the Civil War because it was the same sort of thing. Like people would literally go picnicking near the battlefields and watch Civil War battles.
That's insane.
absolutely insane. So,
I mean,
but I think the craziest part is you can also go down to the bottom part where they would die. So
Yeah, you can go where their feet would hang or where they drop all the way down.
their whole body would
would go down.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty eerie to say the least. The whole thing obviously is.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit happened. Something totally not part of the whole penitentiary is there's a gun. What was that? It was like
it was like some gun exhibit.
Yeah.
But it was some random guy.
This old guy, he passed away in 2000, but he had all like Civil War and World War I, World War II gun exhibit.
Wow.
Lifetime.
Really cool stuff. I was amazed.
He had, before you get into it, because you know a lot more about all that, but lifetime collection of not just almost like any weapon from like Asia too, like
Oh man,
he
anything you could think of, honestly.
millions, a couple $1 million.
Really cool Civil War
Wow.
revolvers and stuff like that. Like really cool.
But get into the good guns.
Oh, just some of the
man.
World War II guns I've never seen. The iconic ones, like
Like the BAR and stuff.
Yep.
You
The
would-
bar,
you
the
love it.
MP40, STG 44. Yeah, the PPSH, the Russian classic. So all those guns, iconic, legendary. I've never seen them in person before, so
Grease
it's cool
gun.
to see. Yep, grease gun.
Yeah,
Dilly thought it was
gun.
really funny because he's like, "Did they name it because it looks like a grease gun?"
Yeah,
and then we
literally.
read the description. Sure enough, the Marines said it looked like a grease gun.
Leave
so.
it up to the Marines because
Yeah.
it was, what was it called? It was just called something else. It was called the M3. I remember
Is that what
that
it?
because BMW,
Of course.
But it was called the M3 or the grease gun. I remember that.
Yeah.
I was like, but yeah. It was
But
pretty
it's
sweet.
just tucked away in the corner of the
Yeah.
penitentiary for some reason. It's just
Well, I mean, they just literally was a stamped metal gun. It was like they made endless supplies of grease guns.
Wow.
exactly.
Like that was like super standard. Yeah, because it was like cheaper and more affordable and easier to make versus the
Right.
Thompson.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Thompson, he had like 20 of those
son of a bitch, who the fuck doesn't put their phone on silent?
on the podcast. Come on now. How many times we've done this? I think I've done that with the laptop so many times.
Well, this
Who do you ever have your phone off silent?
not really anymore.
That's a good question. Just walk up to somebody and be like, silent or not silent?
It's rare.
You're a not silent guy.
Well, I'm always on it for work and whatnot. So
Yeah. It depends if anyone, like, we know you're gonna be hit up, but you know.
yeah, if you're using your phone as a business phone, it's
Then-
probably like you flip it back and forth all the time. But like if you just kind of have it as a personal phone kind of thing, then I feel like it's a more silent at all times. type
Well,
of
now
thing.
I kind of have to. I do kind of use it as a business phone now, but I still I have it on me all the time. Right, my phone.
Yeah.
So I just
Feel it.
feel the
Yeah.
buzz. You know what I mean? So, but I've definitely toyed with the, going verbal with it.
Yeah.
But, so penitentiary was fucking sweet. It was actually really cool. It was just like, how long were you there? We were like for a few hours for sure.
3 hours, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. So
It was
Alright.
very cool. And then they had this one specific building. They called it Arabia or something.
Serbia, I think it was.
Serbia. Serbia. Yeah. And it was
Serbian Knights.
it was a building. They called
Yeah,
it
this was crazy.
inmates and everyone called it Serbia. Well, it was for the people that were misbehaving, like stabbing people, all this, like very
Yeah.
crazy. They would fit. They would have a room that was probably 6 feet long, maybe,
Yeah,
and
6 feet long,
3 feet wide, maybe.
if that. Yeah,
And you go in there, and
Right.
it was just couple feet thick of foot thick of concrete, whatever, all the way around. And
one little hole on the top.
one tiny breathing hole.
Like you could put it maybe was like the size of this cup in the ceiling.
And they would put
And that's what you would breathe through.
and they had a bucket. One bucket, right?
Yep.
For 5 guys in there
Mm-hmm.
to shit, piss in the bucket.
Yep.
And that was it, in darkness. And they
Yeah,
said
pitch black.
people were in there for months, right?
Yeah.
And they would come out. They even had, because this is really cool. Actually, we'll get in. I'll kind of get into this for a minute, but they said that people were so just mentally affected.
Right.
They couldn't even communicate, with the people once they got outside.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But because think about, there's I forgot who it is. There's a video on YouTube of some guy that goes to the quietest room in the world. Have you
Oh
seen that
yeah.
one? And because
Yeah, it's definitely silence.
yeah, your brain never stops thinking. So imagine.
Yeah, we talked about some sensory deprivation tanks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. And so these people are in darkness for months. I mean, that's hell. That's hell. That's got to be awful. And then you just
Have you ever seen the movie Pompeon?
What?
Not.
What did you just say?
Pompeon?
No, I have not seen that.
It's an Amazon original. So
Okay.
if you got Prime, it's on there. Charlie Hunnam's in it. But I read the book like 3-4 years ago now.
Okay.
So it's been a long time. I need to reread it.
Right.
Because it's such a good book. But that dude, it's a true story.
Oh wow. I like true
He
stories.
was like a thief in France, and it was turn of the century, so like 1910-ish,
Right.
somewhere around there. And back then, like they were still kind of doing the colony thing.
Right.
All these European nations. So France was trying to colonize South America. So one of their ways to help make the colonization process easier
Right.
was all of these degenerates
Right.
and thieves, crooks, just regular corrupt, just prisoners and all
Right.
that. They were
course.
instead of keeping them in prisons in France, they would just send them to South America and basically force them to do slave labor. And they would like make them be building roads, railroads, buildings, this and that, to like build up the infrastructure for a colonization
I see.
effort.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And it was like the most brutal prisons that known to mankind across the whole entire world for pretty much the human history. Like they were just like the foreman. Is that the head guy? That's what you would call him, the foreman?
I think so.
Like one of his rules, and they talk about it in the book, but so I guarantee I'm talking about this wrong. But it was just like if you fuck up, like he had like no give or take with it.
Right.
It's like they would put you in this room and they would hit. It was just like solitary confinement.
The warden is a
warden. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
foreman, not warden.
Yeah.
Warden. Yeah, they would put you in solitary confinement in these like off-white concrete rooms. There was no roof, so if it rained on top of you. If it was baking sun, it was baking sun on top of you. And they would limit your food to like pretty much just like a little bit of bread and soup without meat or anything. And they would mercilessly beat them if they made any noises whatsoever. So they couldn't make noise.
Nothing at all. Couldn't talk or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's like...
This is all in that movie?
Yeah, it was all in the movie, and then it's a true story. So yeah, he finally escaped and it was like in Brazil or something, or Belize.
Right.
And he like escaped to Colombia and then just lived out in Colombia for the rest of his life.
No kidding.
But then like he did the most baller move ever.
I love it.
He was an escaped convict, so he was technically had a warrant out for his arrest and everything under laws of France.
Right. Oh.
And then in the 60s or the 70s or the 50s or whatever, when he married some chick in Colombia and whatnot and like had kids. His wife finally convinced him to like write down everything that happened to him and let people know his story. And instead of going to like America or going to the UK or going to Germany or something like that, like a country that doesn't have technically a warrant out for his arrest. Obviously, after like 55 years, they probably don't give two fucks about you.
He went back.
He went back to France to publish it.
Damn, that's badass.
Yeah.
Said, fuck you.
And now it's like one of the top selling books ever. It's like been published in like 23 different languages.
When did the movie come out? What would you say?
2016, I think.
Okay,
maybe.
so
Dilly has a
I
laptop.
guess Amazon.
You could tell.
It said 2017. I think.
Oh, it was close.
Come on, dude. How could you not
True
get that, bro?
story.
Come on.
It was close.
You were
Henry.
close. I'm kidding.
Henry Cherio.
What?
Well, I'm gonna. Is that his name?
Yeah, I guess.
Charlie Hunnam and Rami Malek were the two main actors in it.
Oh, okay.
But it's such a good movie. Really, really fucking amazing movie.
That sounds
yeah.
awesome.
Amazing fucking movie. Like if you like Fury, well, no, it's not like Fury, but like, I guess I just said that because I like Fury and I also like this movie. What is it
But it's a
like?
true story, so
It is a true story.
that already does it for me right there.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good movie.
I'm gonna write that one down to watch that. Dilly, you got Amazon Prime, right?
I don't. You do.
This bitch is broke as fuck.
Yeah,
Think
you're
you
right.
got that shit?
I'm not fucking paying nothing.
No subscriptions guy. That is what they call him.
I got 2 subs. Planet Fitness, Spotify. That's all I need.
That's all I need. They
I
go together.
guarantee he was gonna say Pornhub Premium right there.
That's
or
all I
it's just
got.
like a Bella Danger's OnlyFans.
Right.
After that, then I'm fine.
OnlyFans porn.
The
That's
bare
all I got.
necessities. The bare ass
bare
necessities.
necessities.
It's the bare necessities.
Okay. What's that from?
Jungle Book.
Oh, of course. All right, so let's get into the drink because it's been how long? It's actually not that been long, like 15 minutes.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a while. We have to do that now.
Yeah.
So this drink we had for breakfast. This is my girlfriend like family-owned drink that her dad makes all the time. This is like her dad's favorite drink.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
what would you say? What was like the? Did you see the can she was putting in?
it's a nice flask. Actually, I like that.
Big John.
That's,
Yeah.
That's,
You know what they call him?
BJ.
BJ. So, did you see the cans of juice that she put into these?
Yeah.
They were like,
They're
what
just
was
canned-
it?
Just canned orange juice and canned lime.
Juice? Canned orange juice and canned lime juice, but it was like kind of frozen almost. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah.
It looked frozen, but
think
I
it
don't
was-
think it was. But
Oh yeah, it looked frozen, but maybe it just had
the
pulp. It was
consistency.
like,
Yeah, I think it was just.
lots of pulp or something.
Anyways,
But yeah, it's good. It's like
it's just that put in mixed with water, and there's a secret ingredient that he puts in.
Yep.
Knock your socks off. I tell you what.
Vodka.
Definitely not. Nothing alcoholic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You probably could, and that'd be fucking awesome. But we're having it
That
straight,
should be good.
and it's cayenne pepper. Yeah,
Yeah.
Huh.
Right.
I know.
Everyone has
Very interesting.
that. Everyone has that.
Interesting. That's exactly what this drink is. So
Okay.
let me shake it. I just thought I had leftover from Easter. I'm like, this would be perfect because Dilly will drink it. He's not
Yeah.
alcoholic, so Dilly will drink it,
That's
and
good.
it's very unique. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good for the pod. We need more of that.
I
So.
still guarantee. I bet Dilly won't finish it.
Mm.
I'm not a big liquid guy.
Yeah. See, there you go.
It's actually very weird. I drink. I'm better. I'm actually a lot better.
We get an alcoholic drink. Dilly doesn't drink it all, and we say that's spitting in our faces. We just poured you a drink, and he's like, "If it was non-alcoholic, it would be
Nah,
different."
I'll drink
Now
it.
an alcoholic drink only drinks half. It's like,
Hey,
so what do you call
whatever
that?
it is.
Not a big.
I'm
liquid
not a
guy.
liquid guy. It's like, no, that's you spitting in my fucking face. Anyway.
Messed up.
Yeah, you are.
No. I just don't finish anything. I actually monitor.
Yeah, that's why women don't love you.
Hey, that was clever.
That was
That was
clever. All
That
right,
was
let's go.
very clever. Right?
It's not bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's interesting,
Yeah.
but it's not bad. That lime, I think, does a lot of the heavy lifting.
I will say, Tanner and I both had a piece of cayenne pepper that got stuck in our throat yesterday.
Yeah.
When that happens, holy
Yeah.
moly. It sticks.
You know how I think
Dog.
this could bump it up a notch, but it also bumps up the
Alcohol.
white trash label of it.
Uh-oh.
It just turns it from a interesting drink to a white trash
It's very
interesting drink.
Uh-oh.
Sprite.
Mm.
Oh.
Definitely making more white trash.
Definitely.
You know what? I will
But-
say
Yeah. No, I could see that.
Sprite would be really good, but since it already has some lime juice, I think if it was just carbonated in general,
Mm.
maybe.
It's already got water
Or-
in it.
Maybe if you'd add Sprite, I guess. I mean,
I don't know. The cat's looking at me like I'm the devil.
Nope.
Nothing.
wow.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, what do you
Same.
think? Not bad?
Yeah, not bad. Pretty good.
I like it. I do
Nice.
really like it. It's zip.
Warm in the throat.
Nice
Yeah.
little warm, but not too much. And I think the orange juice and the lime go really good together. So,
Yeah.
man, but the first time he gave me this drink, he puts like, not even kidding you, 5 times as much cayenne pepper. He puts in like
A lot.
spoonfuls of that mom.
Oh my
He's
god.
like, douche.
I thought this was a pretty good amount already.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, this is nothing.
I like this because it's a little hit, but
Right.
man, if you
No,
have
this
there's
is
a
nothing.
lot, because it could be overkill.
Okay, what was our first topic?
It's a good question.
Let's get into our topics. It's been a minute.
But yeah, the first time I fucking drank it, I was on my ass.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Oh, I was like, I had to say it was good, obviously, because
Yeah.
it was. But
Oh god.
Maybe he was
Sorry.
just doing that to see if you were a bitch.
right, and
Oh,
He was
a-
like, I know this is way
Alright.
too much cayenne pepper,
that's
but
a funny way to go about it
but
because he
If he-
chugged it.
yeah, if he sticks with me
Right,
and he lies, I know
Right.
he's a respectable guy and I
That's
know
a
he's a
good-
man.
right.
That's actually a good idea.
I passed the test.
Yeah, he passes the test.
Thank God.
All right.
That'd be really fun.
The number one was the YouTube videos that Dilly didn't watch.
I'll watch them next week.
That doesn't help us.
That's fine. Go ahead.
We're trying to turn this podcast into bettering ourselves and helping others better them.
Right.
And you just continuously refuse to better yourself.
So, I just forgot.
You forgot.
Go ahead. All right. So, first topic.
Yeah, let's Dilly, introduce the first topic, please.
Yeah, please. Go right ahead.
Please, Dilly. What is the first topic?
I say we start with
we need to get this organized. I didn't. Which one?
Says you. You fucking
He was
won't
in the
even
meeting.
look at it. Yeah,
He was in the meeting.
you also were in the meeting.
Okay, let's
All right.
space here.
Which one do you want to start?
Let's start with those videos, the
Okay.
Colorado River and everything, and the
Mm-hmm.
because the first video, if I remember correctly, it was a couple years old, and they were talking about how it's like a record low.
Yeah.
And then I watched the next video, and it was like, it's rising a lot, but within the next year, it might hit like concerning, like dangerous level low.
Yep.
So
All right. What?
I was gonna say I did hear about the hype of the Colorado River, right?
Yep. Okay, so to give context, because we're only talking about rivers rising and lowering, we're talking about how our topic, for this one of our topics for this week,
Right.
that we were trying to deep dive in, but Dilly didn't want to, is, thank you, Dilly. I'm just gonna
You're
pound
just
it
trying
into
to
your
help.
skull.
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
Is how there's just like a finite amount of natural resources. So like.
Right.
Obviously, like there's so many things in the news and so many people, Greta Thunberg, that are talking about how there's like these fix-all solutions. Like if we do this, the world is saved.
Right.
And sunshine, rainbows, and fucking unicorns are going to come out of the sky and fucking just shart rainbows over the grass and shit like that.
Diarrhea rainbow.
Yeah, diarrhea rainbow. That's what Greta's promising it. So long as we listen to her.
Right.
Instead of forcing her to go, how dare you? How dare you?
That's exactly how she sounds.
How dare you? You took my childhood. How dare you?
So the point is, she's like saying, well, people like her.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that there is a.
Yeah, and like normally the big giant thing that they're saying is like, go vegan, go electric, go renewable. So it's like, okay, sure, renewable energy.
That's what I'm thinking.
That can help, but it can also hurt certain things because like
certain things,
wind turbines kill birds. That's facts.
Yeah.
And shit like
that. There's
that.
no winning. There's always going to be negatives, I feel.
Hydroelectric dam in a river literally cuts off ecosystems.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Louisiana is losing like 4 feet of ground to the ocean every single year because most of the ground in Louisiana was built by sediment from the Mississippi River, but now because there's like 6 or 7 dams across the Mississippi River, all the sediment that used to be flushed out of the river into the ocean that made Louisiana is all not there anymore. So now all the sediment slowly gets pulled away into the ocean.
Wow.
So now literally Louisiana loses multiple feet of land to the ocean every single year because the sediment isn't being dropped off by the Mississippi and stuff like that. So like, so that's where I'm getting into this is where it's like, you kind of have to look at it like there's good and bad with every option. And also there's simple things that you could do that could completely change an ecosystem for the better that we're completely ignoring for no reason. Kind of thing. And like habits could change it. Human habit could change it, not necessarily choosing a different thing but just choosing to do less of something or choosing to do something differently kind of thing.
Okay.
Definitely.
Interesting. So kind of summarize for Dilly and the viewers what those first couple of videos were kind of explaining.
Yeah, so the first couple of videos I did were a contradictory of videos.
Okay, I didn't know if that was the case, but I was like,
yeah, that was purposeful because I wanted to show how it's like there are different ones. Dilly, if you could pull up the videos and just tell us who posted what. Just so that viewers can tell us, because you have a laptop, so this is
No,
going to be your job.
The first one.
Yeah, who posted the first
click
one?
the third one.
You know, what the channel is?
Yeah, what channel posted the first one?
Vice News.
So Vice News posted the first one, and that's how old?
Year.
1 year old.
Yeah.
And that one was talking about how the water level's lowering, right?
Drying up. Yep.
Yeah, so they're talking about how it's completely drying up, and how the Colorado River, that's the whole point of these first few videos, were Colorado River.
The second one.
And how it used to be like it would go from damn near Wyoming all the way down to Mexico and bust out in one of the Gulfs in Mexico.
Yeah, it's
but
that part where that little arm is.
Yeah.
But the whole border of California right
Yeah,
now.
But as time goes on, and as human beings decide to live in locations where there literally isn't water.
Right.
They build tributaries, they build pipelines, they do all this from the Colorado River, because that's the main water source of the southwest of the United States, or North America in general. Mm-hmm. And now it's like depleting the water source so much, it's like drying up, and now like water isn't even getting down to the Pacific Ocean because it's being used that rapidly.
Right. Okay.
And an easy way to visualize that is Lake Mead. No.
Yeah, Mead? I think so, yeah.
Is Lake Mead the one at the Hoover Dam?
Yeah, that's what it's showing. Yeah.
Yeah, so because literally it fucking like bleaches the stones
I just
where
saw
the
that.
water is. So like you can literally easily see it. It's like, oh, it used to be there, and now it's 30 feet lower.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah, you can
Right
see
there.
it.
Yeah, so like it's
drastic.
extremely dry.
Right.
And obviously certain things come into play with that, where it's like,
of course,
snowpack. If you have a run of like really not crazy winters, because the Colorado River only gets its water from snowmelt.
Right,
Like that's
runoff.
all it does. Snowmelt, and that's it.
Yep.
Because it's not like it's in a rainforest where it gets rain every 3 days.
Right.
And
exactly.
it doesn't. And there's not like a different fucking ocean where it's coming from or anything like that, or a glacier.
Right. Relies
So
on that snow.
Yeah, it literally just relies on whatever snow happens to come down over the course of the winter and melts off throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
That's all it is. So yeah, multiple years of low snow. That's not humans' fault, but also humans. It is kind of humans' fault, where it's like, no one's supposed to live in Las Vegas. That's an inhabitable place.
You're right. That's a good point.
Yeah,
it's
but,
not
like,
natural.
Yeah, like humans aren't meant to live there.
Yeah. So that
Humans
fucked up the whole-
aren't necessarily. Some humans maybe are meant to live like in Phoenix, but not a lot.
That yeah,
like-
that fucked up the whole ecosystem of the.
Yeah, because now it's like humans are
Just so much more
forcibly
resources.
are forcibly changing it, and now like people and like all these green people and this and that are like screaming, and it's like, you're destroying the planet,
Right.
and this and that, and it's like, well, and like I hate it when it comes from people that like just literally bought a brand new house or something
Right.
in those areas, where it's like,
You're kind of contributing to it.
you're making this worse. Like the fact that you live in this spot, if you want to help the earth, go to somewhere where the earth can actually support your life
Yeah.
without infringing on it, like kind of thing.
It's true. Good point.
So yeah, like,
Interesting.
but it's like I showed contradictory statements. So like the second video, who posted that one?
Second one, it's Archive. The channel is called Archive, and that was posted 2 weeks ago, I think.
And what was the title of it?
The Real Reason Lake Mead is Rising.
Exactly. And so they're talking about how it's a lot of snowmelt and shit like that.
Right.
So, and then they also went into how there's legislation and stuff like that, where how like states are committing to like limit the amount of water that they're pulling.
Well, I thought that was the most interesting part to me, was that there's 7 states that that use the resources from the Colorado River, right? And they're trying to create an agreement to lower the amount they're like using.
Yeah, lower or like reorganize it to where it's,
Reorganize is a good way to put it. And all 6 out of the 7 states agreed to it. Dilly, what 7th state do you think did not agree to it? If you were to guess.
Oh, I could write out California.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Because it's not a state. That's it's a whole thing. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
could be a-
clearly California has a giant stake at it, and I think they also showed that California pulls like out of all the water that gets pulled out of the Colorado River in the United States, California pulls 70% of what's pulled.
Holy mother.
Makes sense. But.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Well, I mean, it makes sense because like what's near the Colorado River in California, that's their whole farming location.
Yeah.
Which is also like the fucking backbone of their economy.
Oh yeah.
Like if you take away farming from California, if they can't grow their fucking avocados,
right,
they're fucked.
No more avocado toast.
Yeah. Who cares about that?
See, we don't care.
But
California
is broken if they can't be growing almonds and avocados and shit like that.
That's true.
Like, and so like so much of their things, and I was gonna put it in, and it's like, this is where it's like humans are really good at adapting, kind of thing.
Okay, nice.
Where it's like, and like, these are part of the things that would help limit the amount of water needing to be used. There's scientists and there's a giant push to build these new farming structures.
Okay.
Where it's like basically a floating platform that you put the plants on, and then the roots just sink into the water, and it's a circulating system where there's a giant fucking pool of fish like tilapia or trout or some hard or carp or something like that, because poo fish water is really good fertilizer for food for plants.
Yep.
So you can recycle the whole thing, and instead of just spurting it in the air like a regular traditional farm, then you can recycle it, because now the clean water you get to really cycle back to the fish.
Dang.
And so now you really have to put minimal input into it. You really just have to feed the fish. And then it works out and run the filters.
That's
so then it like there's like theories and like tests that it can like reduce the amount of water needed to produce a crop by like 86%. Like it's a giant fucking number.
So that'd be long term for this whole drought.
Yeah, but it's like learning things. But it's like it's really interesting how it's like there's these 6 states, and like 6 states are all of 6 of them are probably looking at those options. Like, okay, there's this. We could like invest in aquifer research. Like we can try to find a giant aquifer in the state or something like that. Tons of options.
Okay.
Build our own reservoirs, but one state is like, well,
I don't really want.
Fuck you.
Well, somebody's gonna have to budge, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, in that whole agreement thing, because it can't go under. I think the level was like 950 or whatever. Feet, 950. It can't go below that.
Yeah.
And how close is it?
It's at like 1,040 right now.
Yeah, because that's one thing a lot of people don't even realize when they see a reservoir or something like that, where you can't just start pouring water in and it's instantly going to fill up. You have to saturate the land.
Yeah.
In order for it to be unable to take any more water in and like get into a clay layer or something like that will stop the water.
The whole.
But
just keep
if you don't, so like Lake Mead is obviously just like the Colorado River expanded because there's a dam.
Right.
They didn't design it to look like that. That's just how the river was.
Right.
Yep.
And then it just expanded out on its own and saturated the ground. But it takes years for that to happen. So if it dries up, you have to resaturate it, and now there's years where you don't get to rely on Lake Mead for water.
Well, and I think something about like, I think it's probably that reason. I couldn't exactly tell, but like the generators.
Yeah.
That supplied the power and energy to Vegas and all this stuff, right? Which is so mind blowing to think about. That there's these generators in these dams that have the pressure and power from this water. Creating all those billion lights in Vegas. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
So,
no, that is
but
insane.
If it goes below 950, they can't produce.
Ooh, so something's got to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this chart too, and
so this is on, just real quick before you get into it, this is that video that was saying it's rising. They still did do a good job at saying how bad it's gotten over the last
it's rising right
decades.
now, but that doesn't mean it's back up where we don't have to stress.
Because like I would assume at this moment, of course, because it's based off of what snow melt, like you said.
Yeah, it's all snow melt.
Snow melt. So we'll see what happens, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
we
it's like this is
across the watershed for the Colorado River. It was an extremely high snow melt over the past like year. So or snow pack. So like
this is the most runoff for this time of year. This is when it all happens, like March, April.
So yeah, and then after this, it's kind of like we're just crossing our fingers.
Yeah, it's just like all the other places. Like if you're in Idaho and you know the Boise River, the Boise River is an extremely controlled thing. There's a dam at South Fork that controls the water level in the Boise River, but it in the spring, like right now, it's probably like 3 feet higher than what it is going to be in September.
Well,
True.
Funny enough, we drove by it. Was it yesterday?
Oh yeah, and you were saying
it was really high.
Yeah.
It looked very high.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm looking at this chart here, and this data is pretty crazy from just showing from 2004, and it's just ever steadily down. It went up a little bit. The level went up.
That's from 2000, I think.
2000, yeah.
Mhm.
2000 to 2021, yeah.
And then, now we're just on a fine line of like, ooh.
It is pretty amazing how drastically it's gone down in the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
Versus like 50 years before that kind of thing. So.
So,
yeah, it's interesting.
But then another thing, so going away from the rivers, but still sticking with those videos, is the American buffalo / bison and the American beaver.
Yeah, I didn't see the beaver one, but the bison one I had to watch because it's my so fascinated by that animal.
It's an amazing animal.
It's the greatest.
So
of all time.
It's a super fun, quick history because Dilly didn't watch it.
Looking at it.
So there was an estimated 20 million to between 10 and 60, but really everyone thinks it's probably around 20 million as of right now. Bison that roamed across America.
Right.
Hundreds of years ago. Like there's stories of people hunting buffalo where modern day Washington D.C. is.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
So it wasn't just like a prairie animal or something like that. It was a national continental animal. And then when more people colonized over here, they were like, fuck, we like that fur. Fuck, we can use those bones for shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, we could use
that meat.
That meat's kind of cool too. And literally, so like people were just like, obviously they understand like when something gets killed, it can't make more things anymore. But like they saw tens of millions of them across the prairies. They were like, I can kill 30 in a day. They're gonna be fine.
That's the most fascinating part because no wonder you would. Of course, you would think that way, right?
Yeah.
When you see, like, it literally looks like a mountain. Like, you know when a mountain top is like capped with trees?
Yeah.
It's just like a green, like afro on it.
Yeah.
If you saw, that's what it looked like with like buffalo and bison on it. You couldn't see the ground. There were so many, right?
Yeah.
That's all you would. It would
literally
just see a
you
buffalo.
Could easily track herds because literally it would hundreds of yards across. There would just be dirt lines. Like they just created a highway. They just trampled the earth.
Wow.
So when you saw that, easy. Of course you would think they're unlimited.
Yeah,
that's
unlimited.
How it would feel.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, and the humans are so stupid and so brainless. Like, we still do it with simpler shit today. Yeah. Like, you go to fucking Costco and you get a 48 pack of fucking toilet paper. You're like, I'm never running out of fucking toilet paper.
It's how it counts.
Yeah, and then, sure enough, like, fucking however many months later, you're like, I guess I'm using a towel. Yeah, I ran out.
Fuck, I gotta go.
I ran out.
Go back to Costco.
I fucking ran out. And so the buffalo is just like.
Done that?
What, my hand?
Yeah.
No, I haven't used my hand.
Have you ever been in a spot where you ran out before?
Definitely.
It's a tough spot.
I think it's a
tough spot.
It's a tough spot.
Tough spot to be in.
Do you keep the towel?
I'm trying to think.
No.
Oh. No, you gotta dispose.
Yeah, throw that out.
Yeah, that needs to go away.
Kidding.
It needs to get burned.
Yeah.
Bad smell and burn. I tell you.
Yeah, but back to this. So yeah, like there was, millions and millions.
Shit in the washer. Put it in the washer.
That was hilarious. And then hunting, thankfully, like a few people were smart enough to be like, holy shit. And like in the video that I posted, you can look it up. Stephen Ranella is the person that talked about it. He talks about it so well. And there's so many books that talk about it way better than we can talk about it. But basically, like just a select few individuals had some foresight, and they were buffalo hunters themselves. Like they loved hunting, and they were like, they probably were like, it's kind of getting a little harder to find these fuckers.
Right. It's taking like a couple hours.
I used to just shoot them off the side of a train and it would be fine. And now I gotta go look for them.
a little bit different.
They're running out. Oh fuck! And then they just so they pretty much like kept their own, for themselves and created their own herds. So like in the modern day buffalo population, like that's even more interesting. But we won't get into this part. But it's like super fucking inbred. So like they're super like fragile species right now because there's not much biodiversity across.
Really?
Yeah.
Sense.
So apparently, like there was because from all those herds,
Right.
maybe like 3 of the herds were still fully natural buffalo. To help speed up the process, they crossbred them with regular cattle.
Oh my!
Yeah, because like they only had so many buffalo, but they had plenty of cattle, and they were like, well, they're close. So like it's a weird kind of mostly buffalo, but really a hybrid kind of thing. But there's still so few of them. They were super inbred, and when you get inbred, there's no like changing. Because like how like the only way there's strength in like disease and everything else is by crossbreeding and shit. Like if your dad is really good against this,
I see,
and then your mom's really good against this, and you combine, now the child or children are really good against both.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it continues and continues and continues. But with inbreeding, then it's like, well, mom and dad are only good against this one thing, but nothing else. And so am I. So now the whole entire family can get wiped out by one disease instead of a limited number. So they're super fragile, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're talking about today.
Pretty fascinating.
But it is fascinating. But these buffalo, they were learning and whatnot, like they help control the prairies so much. Like we've talked about it before when Dilly and I did our road trip from North Carolina all the way out to Idaho, and we got to kind of feel what settlers felt when they broke free of all those trees in Kentucky and Missouri and shit like that. Dilly is just glossed the fuck over right now.
I'm listening.
And then you open up
Veins in Malaysia.
oh
Bro.
my fucking god!
What the
And
fuck are you
then
doing that?
My feet.
just see an ocean of fucking grass, just waves of
It was
grass.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, literally just standing inside of an ocean,
I've never seen
a
anything
literal ocean, but it's grass.
in Wyoming. Never seen. That's when we went. The area in Wyoming.
Yeah, you literally get to
Yeah.
see the ripples from the wind moving the
That's
grass,
pretty
and
like
it's
a fucking
amazing.
Windows lock screen. You know, and you get to see the fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
It's
beautiful. It's
insane.
so amazing. It's truly one of the greatest sights you can ever see on
That
Earth.
is pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's crazy what this country offers just on its
Yeah.
how big it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The different levels of nature we have is
All
unbelievable.
Oh,
over the
yeah.
place.
But
Sorry.
so these buffalo, and they thought like all these grasslands in the 1960s, it's like, well, no one lives here, so yeah, this is the natural state of it, and this is fine. But they didn't realize this grass, and they like had to go back to settlers like documentation, like Lewis and Clark shit, and diaries of what they were saying, and like it used to be like forehead tall grass, like fucking like 5 foot tall grass in parts of the country,
Okay.
like just like you can't fucking see through it because
course.
it's as high as you.
Of course.
Kind of thing. Like you got to be in a train.
Right.
And what they realized was there were all these grazing animals, the buffalo and shit like that, which cows kind of did it, but they don't do it enough. Like buffalo are literally just like walking stomachs. Like all they do is fucking eat.
True.
Yeah.
Just to be that massive. And they realized like these buffalo, their thick ass fur would move pollen and seeds and anywhere and everywhere across hundreds of miles because they were constantly migrating. So that helped with biodiversity in the grass. And then also they ate all this grass. So then like these younger, hardier grasses could grow up more. And then these really tall grass that the buffalo didn't bother started taking root. And that created all these like giant stalks, which made another biodiversity for birds and everything else. So it's like simple fucking things.
Wow.
Like literally just like let buffalo be buffalo and do buffalo things. Don't put your fucking dirty fingers in it, humans. Just let them do their shit. And that literally makes the ecosystem better.
It's crazy how much of their stuff I think in nature there is. What?
Minnie's paw on the camera. Sorry, guys.
She's
She's stretching just to touch me.
She's just getting that quick touch.
Yeah.
She's trying to
Cat
get
just-
hit off that temperature.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, she wants it.
So, no, but it's crazy how simple. Well, it's just like their purpose, you know. What I mean? It's so crazy and interesting to think about it, and it obviously makes sense too why humans wouldn't think about it.
Yeah,
back
and
then,
that
right?
yeah, they wouldn't think about it. And then we're still not thinking about it right now because, like I was just talking about, we didn't think about it and we almost killed the whole entire species by accident. But thankfully, they're starting to make a rebound, and then now there's like thousands upon thousands.
Right. It's awesome to see.
It's extremely limited still because there's not buffalo farms.
True.
There's plenty of cattle farms. There's not buffalo farms.
Man, plenty of cattle farms.
So a giant push because it's very, very rare and very limited locations across the country where you can hunt buffalo.
Right. Okay.
Very limited, very strict, very
makes sense.
Hard line, this and that, and blah blah blah.
Right.
And what Steven Ranello was saying is, and like he used examples of like turkey, whitetail,
true,
stuff like that, where turkey used to exploded since humans were here. Yeah. Whitetail exploded since humans were here. Like he used the example of turkeys. He said something like it was almost like barely 10 states had turkeys when colonies were here. Like a little bit over 10 states. Now they're in 23.
Wow.
And then it was something similar for white-tailed deer.
Okay.
And now they're in every single state.
Wow. That is amazing.
You can hunt white-tailed deer in every single state, and it used to be only a limited number of states when humans first got here because there was regulated hunting and they allowed people to hunt for them. So then more excitement became of them.
I see.
And more interest became of them. And hunters are the most controversial. Modern-day hunters do more for the environment than almost any other human being possible.
Ooh.
Because of the fact, well, I mean, it's hot takes, but it's like if you want someone to be excited about it, give them a reason to be excited about it. It's like, because it's so, again, humans are stupid brains.
Right. Small brains.
How dare you? How dare you say I have stupid brains?
Smooth brains.
Smooth brains. Yes, smooth brains.
Brain just looks like...
Sure, it's super easy to say it's like, we need to save these animals so that way we can save the world. And it's like, that... Save the world sounds nice. Save the animals sound nice. It's like, okay, so then participate in it. It's like, but I'm not connected.
I don't wanna.
I'd rather just.
Right. I'm lazy.
But when you talk to hunters and shit and people like that, hunters, fishermen, all these outdoorsmen,
of course,
it's like when you talk about like white-tailed deer or like fucking mule deer or say another fucking animal and you can talk about it. They're like, we need to conserve it because if they go away, I can't fucking hunt them anymore. So they're like super okay with like, like it's a joke in all the fucking country songs and all these fucking idiots that are like, I wish I could shoot a white-tailed deer any time of the year. It's fucking God's animal. Why can't I shoot it whenever the fuck?
Right.
But vast majority, almost 100% of hunters, I believe, are completely okay with like tag out limits, seasonal hunting, and this and that because they completely understand, they completely support. It's like doing this right now means I get to have good or better hunting for the rest of my life, and then my children get to have better hunting for the rest of their lives, and then my grandchildren as well, and on and on and on and on. But if I just get to fucking, me, my buddies, and everybody else gets to just fucking go hog wild whenever we want, 365, no stop.
Guess what's going to happen?
I know it's going to be gone in my generation. Almost every single hunter understands that at this point.
It's going to be the buffalo situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
That's a good point.
I think so many people are smarter about that. And then it's like...
I agree.
So there's certain things where it's like the buffalo where it's like they're starting to get a rebound and they had to have a lot of human help, but now it's like now we can maybe be a little bit more hands-off with human help and just let them take their course and let them do their thing. And the only human help really is like start introducing more buffalo hunting. Do it more because just like the white-tailed deer, it's like no one's going to have interest. Not even the hunters are going to have interest. They're going to have the same opinion as everybody else with buffalo. But the second you can tell a hunter, it's like, hey, there's going to be in Montana or Wyoming or whatever, in Colorado, each state will have 45 buffalo tags in a lottery system.
Right.
And also with how laws and regulations are held. So almost all of the money with tag lotteries, when you ever buy anything from Cabela's or Sportsman's Warehouse, any outdoors gear, so much of it goes back to wildlife conservation inside the country.
Okay.
So
cool. I have seen some advertisements.
Yeah, it's a huge portion. Like there's a literal tax on like, so if you go buy a fishing pole, there's a tax on it, and that tax goes back to the fish and wildlife.
That's pretty cool. Wow.
And that's great. And same for all like how the lottery. Have you guys ever done lottery system for tags or anything like that?
No.
So it's to help make it to where it's not like an almost never going to happen chance.
Okay.
Like sheep, like Dall sheep in Alaska or something like that.
Okay.
You kind of get points, so they keep track of it. So you like buy a lottery tag. So one lottery tag is $200.
Okay.
But 65,000 other people do it.
I have heard of
but
this.
you still get a point for that year, even if you don't get it. And then after like 15 points, it's like, okay, you get a tag kind of thing. It might be like that, or like 15 points means like you get a way better chance of getting a tag. So it's almost guaranteed at that point kind of thing.
Okay.
So that way it's like not a never possible type of thing. But vast majority of people will never get to shoot a buffalo for years on end.
Right.
But all the money, it doesn't go back to them. It goes back to conservation. So that helps further like the environments and everything.
And not too many people attack.
Yeah, and then that supports further research for buffalo because obviously they can only say 45 buffalo can get killed in Wyoming this year because they know the population can rebound, and they can say 15 males can go or 15 females, or like 25 males and 5 females can get killed this year or something like that. And like thin herds and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And that might help out with biodiversity because then you kind of kill the inbredness. So then you like kind of sever lines like that old dude, because animals don't know half the time what they're animals almost never. I don't know of an animal that knows like what their grandkid is.
Yeah.
So like they'll just fuck their grandkid.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Well, you don't.
And that just furthers the inbreeding. So when you say you are allowed to kill, and I can't tell, I don't know how you can tell, or something like with sheep, you can tell with the horns and shit. I don't know if you can tell with buffalo, but it's like if you kill a 6-year-old buffalo, that's like the max of its life, we'll say, then you killing that allows all the other males to spread seed and this and that, and then that limits the inbreeding and improves biodiversity. So then it makes stronger herds and this and that. And then as the guys are hunting, then they become advocates because they're like, I fucking love buffalo hunting. I never want to stop buffalo hunting.
Right.
Don't ever take buffalo hunting away from me. And then they are pushing and pushing for everything because they're like, I want to go back to the 1800s. I want to see that fucking 6-mile wide fucking herd of buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I get to take the pick of the litter and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then that's how you rebound it. That's the limited introduction. But the how dare yous don't want to see that. They don't want to see bloodshed. They don't want to see that. They're just like, no, put them in a box and make them safe. And it's like, well, no, that's solitary confinement, and they're going to kill themselves.
Well, like you said, there's more motivation.
Yeah, like no one's motivated by saying, help us put
really
animals in a box
take.
and don't touch them. And it's like, no.
I've never looked at it that way, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, because like, think about what stupidest way to think about it, but also one of the most genuine ways to think about it.
Okay.
What animals do you think get the most conservation help and most attention in the world?
Man.
In the world?
Yeah.
Well, let us think. What do you think?
What animals do you think?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, there's a couple in my head.
What do you think?
Well, cows just first is what I'm thinking about. But
I'm saying wild animals, not like
wild animals.
not
Oh,
like
shit.
traditional farm animals, but wild animals.
That switches it all up. Hold on.
Maybe
Wild animals? I don't know. First thing came to my head is wolves, but
like
that doesn't make
bobcats.
no. Oh, no.
Maybe.
I don't
In the
think
world?
so. I think
Not in
that
the
the
world.
category, it's a category for me, is any animal at a zoo that you are allowed to pet and or feed.
Oh.
Yeah, I totally forgot
Yeah.
about zoos. How do
If
we like?
you were
do we
allowed
like
to-
zoos?
Yeah, zoos are cool.
I think
Most
it's-
zoos are cool. Some zoos are fucked up.
They're
Harambe
trigger, right?
sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well. rip
But it's
Harambe.
like the animals.
long-
Like
it's like
think
10 years
about
ago.
it. It's like
Crazy.
How many?
it's
10
like
years?
think about it. Like the black rhino is about to go extinct in Africa,
Mm.
but every single kid is screaming to save the giraffe because they get to feed lettuce to the giraffe at the zoo.
Ooh, that's a good.
There's a physical, actual
Right.
feeling and connection with them.
Yeah.
You can pet a baby kangaroo. You can do this and that with certain animals, but other animals, you can only see them from a distance. when you have an actual interaction with the animal, you have motivation to and a bond with that animal
True.
and that species. But so that's why I'm saying the most conservation help is the ones that you can touch and feed.
That is
at a
really
zoo.
good. Yeah, that's good.
You watched a lot more than just that one video.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, he went in.
Yeah, the last video, and this is where another contradiction, I want to just show all sides, or like a more beginnings of it, is the beaver, American beaver. Yeah. Went extinct in Europe because they love hats, and really hurt the population in America because they love hats.
Yep.
And whatnot. And what they realized, it was like crazy ecosystems are just built around the beaver. Like the beaver, like California is like, we need to stop forest fires. You know how you stop forest fires? Make everything wet. You know what makes everything wet? A beaver dam. Beaver dams, like they literally took studies and it was like a beaver dam location. So like because like they'll not just build a dam on a creek or something.
Right.
And then have the pond. Like they'll also build jets out from the pond to other locations so that way it's easier traveling and shit like that.
Why are you so zoomed in, bro?
I'm listening.
Chill out.
Yeah, it's easier and faster traveling. So like they realized like the domain or the area that a beaver lives in survives a forest fire like 70% better than
that's
one
really well, it makes perfect sense. But
yeah, and it's a giant fucking location.
Chill out.
What the fuck?
Sorry, we're taking thumbnail.
Jesus Christ.
This dude shows up at your front door. What are you doing?
I don't know. Saying, where's my fucking Uber Eats? I don't know.
Oh, God.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
really
so it's like,
interesting about
it
the
saves
beavers.
it, but like beavers are kind of in that spot where it's like we kind of need to help them more than the buffalo. Like the buffalo are kind of establishing themselves and they can handle themselves.
How do we help the beavers then?
Well, so like in that video, they were showing it's like that you need to make it more habitable for them. Like you need to kind of like, sometimes you just need to like, because like in the 50s, like Idaho was famous for it and they showed it in the video where they literally parachuted beavers in.
What?
Yeah. In the 50s,
Damn.
they were like, they tried to save, they like made these collapsible boxes. Like when it hit the ground, it just went, and then the beaver could go.
What do you think the beavers
awesome.
were thinking?
Most of them,
like,
it was an absolute failure.
They die?
Yeah, most of them died or they just went back to, they figured out how to get back to where they came from.
Oh, damn.
That's so comical. Not that they died, but the fact that
like, so it's not necessarily just like a fucking like
really funny idea though.
Yeah, so like they're just like a little testier and like they need a little more like convincing and like persuasion and this and that to establish themselves and everything else. You can't. It's not like a buffalo where it's like you pick him up from one prairie and you put him in another prairie and he keeps on eating grass.
Yeah, that's
like beaver are kind of like more of a
kind of picky. They're smart.
You need to make them feel like they deserve to be there, kind of thing. So like a big help right now, like what Oregon is doing is they literally make artificial beaver dams.
Okay.
Like they don't just do a regular like concrete dam or something. They just like do sticks and rocks and shit like that. And occasionally a beaver will come by and just like start building its own dam on top of that dam.
So
interesting.
Beavers right now, are beavers still kind of endangered?
There's still way more there's a lot of them. Like beaver tramping is very common.
A lot of beavers.
There's a lot of beavers, but it is still like there's a limited number and like far less than what there used to be. So
yeah, the beavers, that's really interesting. I'll have to watch that video. That sounds hysterical. Well, you just looked up a picture of a beaver?
I ain't seen one for a long time.
Yeah, just look up parachuting and beavers.
Oh, God, that sounds so
this
funny.
is so good.
I guarantee it'll show up. It's like from the 1950s. But yeah, that was what I was talking about. It was just like, I wanted to talk about this because I want to hear what you guys thought. I'm really disappointed Dilly didn't watch the videos because I feel like he could have said a fuck ton about this, but he didn't.
Definitely, yeah. I think, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, but it's just like, there is only a limited number. And then like, you can take this back to like so many other things, like just like precious metals, this and that. There's only so much of something. Yeah. So like just us like constantly burning through something obviously doesn't make sense. So like all these like lithium ion batteries, it's like, well, how much lithium is there in the world?
Yeah, something's got to give. Right?
True.
That's where I'm like, these videos, like, yeah, it's completely different. A rock in the ground is completely different than a fucking living, breathing thing on the earth.
Of course.
But it is still something to be similar, where it's just like, there's only so much. So, like, we need to start learning how we can repurpose, redo, choose to do differently, or go back to something so it can create more of something else.
Well, just really fascinating. Well, not many people really think about this stuff, right? And obviously people do, but you don't really think about it too much. You just caught up in kind of the world that we live in, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think especially when it comes to like cows and shit. What? You love
Your
that
hat, dude.
This guy. I've had my hat.
It's been like 5 minutes.
Yes, I was waiting for you to look this whole fucking time. All right, this will be the picture now. This is what we needed.
Yep.
This is it. I don't know how to open it.
Figure it out.
How do you open it? Is it like an Android?
No,
or
you click
up?
on it. You just click on like hold it down. Swipe right. Swipe. No, left. Sorry. There you go.
Oh, what the heck?
Man's got an Apple Watch and doesn't even know how to take a photo with an iPhone.
No, I don't. I have a home button still. That's why it was. It's weird.
Can you imagine having a home button?
I love it.
Bitch doesn't even have a home.
Oh,
damn. That was messed up.
So, no, but just thinking about like
it looks like that.
Nice.
Cows and chickens and shit. Thinking about how much we got them. You know,
it's true.
Yeah,
chickens are
working.
Yeah. Oh man, they're
it's just like
every day.
How much? I mean, every time you go to a Chick-fil-A, there's chicken.
That's fucking crazy.
Anywhere in the country, there's chicken.
That's crazy. Think
yeah.
You ever seen
going to any bad boy?
Beef
burgers?
Yeah, and I mean, going back to like one of our more recent and extremely popular episodes, surprisingly, it was our Boots and Cigars episode. Watching all those bootmakers, like, and this shows like there is starting to be interest, and this is also how you can make it. Just like, I think hunters would be number one, but also farming and like actual use of products again, because used to love buffalo fur, buffalo hide for everything, and then we like went away and did other things and this and that, and now we're just like all fucking regular cow shit.
Right.
But now like Origin makes a bison leather boot, and JK Boots makes a bison leather boot.
Correct.
And stuff like that. And now like you're starting to see in fucking grocery stores and like Whole Foods and shit like that, where it's like there's high protein and lean meat options, and like one of them is bison jerky instead of beef jerky and shit like that. So it's like seeing that on a shelf, like buying that also makes those companies stay in business and grow. And the more those companies grow, the more other companies will try to copy them, which means they'll do the same thing, and the more there will be of this animal.
Also,
that right there, what you just said, people do not think about that.
Yeah.
They think about the opposite, right? Think about kill more, less. But it's like...
Yeah, kill less, there will be more, and it's like, well, no.
In this day and age, it's different.
Yeah.
So, it's really interesting.
you guys ever had a bison burger?
Yeah.
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 I never had one.
What? I was about to say, who has it?
Well, in Colorado, I feel like they were everywhere. Almost a lot of restaurants are like
a shit ton of. We're like, yeah, bison farm.
And I just never tried. I don't know.
Yeah, Colorado's big on their bison.
I can't believe it. So
there was a bison farm across the street from my church in Parker.
Damn.
They had like 13 bison.
Love that animal. I think it's one of the best looking animals.
Oh yeah,
ever.
You can stare at that fucking thing for hours and find new little things about it.
BJ.
That's a beautiful job.
I like get acting up. Like
no.
Looking.
But I don't know. There's just something about it, like how it's literally like half of it is covered in this gorgeous fur.
Yeah.
You know,
It is a weird, interesting.
And Dilly would love them because they say "fuck the women" all the time.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Right, you say that too.
Yeah. Well, not on.
You know why I say the buffalo say "fuck the women"?
How do they do that?
They literally, so it's just like elk and deer and everything. They go into heat only like once a year in like a 3-month time period. But like elk and deer and everything will intermingle with each other and just be a bigger herd kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Buffalo, when they're not in heat, they're like, fuck the bitches. And then they just fucking leave and have a fucking bro herd for the whole entire year until it goes into heat. And then they find the chick herd and they're like, fuck. And then they just fucking are like, okay, we got our nuts off. You're pregnant. Deuces. back to the dudes, and then they just hang out with the dudes again.
Sounds like that's just fucking.
What does that sound like to you? Sounds like college to me.
Sounds like it sounds like you
That sounds like
in and out,
Dilly's dream life.
in and out.
Just fucking pump and dump, dip out,
That's
don't
not-
have to worry about her
Look,
crying.
anybody listening?
That's Dilly's dream.
Anybody listening? Don't let Mayo put this label on me. Here.
Dilly doesn't
Make
want
me
to deal
look
with a
bad.
crying bitch.
I
Fuck,
plead,
that was funny.
I plead the fifth.
fuck.
Plead the fifth. You don't say none.
That has to be a short. It's just like
I'm
buffalo
have to.
sex. Fuck. Deuces.
Deuce has got my nut off. That's
All
it.
right, bros, let's go.
Right. I know it's funny. They go on little
God.
vacay, little bros,
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
fucking
Hanging
spring
with the
break.
homies.
Off my breath.
talking
Yeah.
about finance and shit, and then come
Get
back.
Yeah, they get back and they're fuck,
And they're
and then they leave and
just
they're
like,
like, anybody else's dick
fucking
itchy? Who
you're-
fucks with Susie? I think Susie had the fucking clap.
Come
Fucking
on.
Peter the plumber comes through.
We're supposed to
He's fucking
do
ready.
3-week intervals.
Oh god,
Sorry.
crazy. Bison.
Yeah.
That as well. Good looking animal.
Bison.
Bison. Cheers
To the bison.
to
Cheers
the bison.
bison.
To the bison.
Bison.
After that. Good drink.
Cayenne, straight to the.
Back in the throat. Get-
Keeps you sharp between the ears.
That was like you doing the sign of cross. You were like,
Take it lower. Keep me sharp between the ears.
Yeah, nice. It did look like it did that.
It's good when it doesn't hit you that hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a nice little taste.
I really do think he just put a shit ton in there to
That's,
see what you
that's
do.
a real. I did not think about that at all. It's
really-
really funny to think
I
about.
think
That
he was testing you.
yeah.
Because you easily could have been like, and he's like,
Yeah,
you're a
he
bitch.
was like,
Like,
I need to find
it's
out
a
if my.
lot.
It's like, did my daughter bring back a bitch-made cat?
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, especially because she lives in the city, you know, and where they're from,
Yeah.
See
the
boy.
town has like maybe 60 people.
Wow.
So, no, it has like 200, but still. It was it's the same ingredients, but it
Yeah.
was like orange,
Very
orange.
orange.
You know, like
Yeah.
that orange.
Yeah.
That's how much pepper you put in that.
Yeah, like,
Like,
tangerine orange.
Like
yeah.
the canister of cayenne pepper, right? When you buy it, it's like this big.
I feel like I'd be
He put
pissing.
literally half the bottle in there.
I'd literally be like pissing pepper juice. I don't
Yeah.
think that'd be
Yeah.
good. I'd be
It
burning.
was flamey. I'll
Yeah,
tell
he
you what.
was
oh
testing
my
you.
god.
He was
testing your fucking
he was
kidneys
testing
too.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to ask your lady and be
that
like,
would be really funny.
was he testing
Yeah.
me?
That's actually hilarious though. Yeah.
But I passed. But it was rough.
Yeah.
Well, I've never even had anything like that. I don't even know if I had cayenne pepper at that point
Yeah.
in my life. So.
Yeah.
something
Did
usually-
Marin drink any
I
of it?
think she did, honestly. I think after she did.
Okay.
Probably because she had to see what it was like. But
He probably mixed up a separate glass.
he
for
did.
it.
He did.
Did she make this?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think he's.
But he also had a separate one.
for her. Oh.
Well, it was like not as strong.
Yeah.
And I remember
Come
him
on
putting
now.
more in when I
Come
got
on
there.
now,
Come
that's
on
not. Don't quit playing.
that would be. That's
That's
such a
definitely-
funny way. That's a great way to do it, honestly.
Yeah, that's
You
a
can stick with
wonderful. way.
Especially because I'm the first. Like, she has
'Cause-
2 other sisters, so I'm the first like boyfriend out of all
Yep.
the daughters and everything.
It's
So it's like,
I've heard of stuff like that before. Like I know one guy that like doesn't have any feeling in his hands anymore, just because of like nerve damage and shit like that. So he can't feel temperature.
jacked off.
So like he doesn't know if the water's hot or anything.
Oh,
He kind of
God.
has to trust somebody. So
No.
one time, like to test it or fucking around with somebody to make him look like a weak bitch, made it scalding fucking hot water, and he was just like washing his hands like do 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 do, and he was like, "Hey, wash your hands too." Like they got back from fishing or something like that, and he was like, "What the?" He's
Right.
like, "Wow, bitch made
God.
cat."
right.
Oh my god.
Really, it was scalding hot water, and he knew it was scalding hot water. He could see the fucking roaring steam coming
Right.
off of it,
He's
but
like,
it was.
Can't even feel it.
And he was like, "My skin's
Yeah.
probably going to be coming off in 10 minutes," but
God.
It'd be
at
really
least
funny
it was a good joke.
to find a bunch of those like strategies, if you will.
Yeah.
I think that one's really great that because the cayenne pepper thing because
It's not really going to do anything.
The only thing is you need to make sure you have the good poker face to make sure you don't show
Yeah.
anything.
like him
Yeah, like the scalding hot, like
Right.
he was like do 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 do, and he
playing it off.
yeah, Marin's dad's just like yeah, that's nothing.
because
No, he chugged it. He had a glass twice the size of
Yeah.
this, and he chugged it.
you've probably done this method a few times.
No, I think he just drank
Think-
it like
oh,
that.
okay.
Honestly, I think he literally drank it like that, but nobody else has ever
so
drank it like that. So he was like, "I gotta make him my strong
'Cause
stuff."
I feel like at that moment, yeah, it would be so hard to you're meeting their
Yeah.
family and everything. You want to be
Mm-hmm.
not weird. You want to be that happened. Oh, if it was really really hot, it'd be hard to hold it together. But
Yeah, what if
Yeah.
you were in my shoes on that one?
Yeah, I'd have to. I mean, yeah, I'd just tough it out. I would tough it out. I would try not to let anyone know. But
All right.
if it got
You've
me.
never really met a girl's dad really before.
I have when I was younger. I'm young now.
A wee little lad when it didn't count. All right, let's move on to
But
something.
like when it was,
fuck me, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But if it was like now,
If it was like
that's
now,
already
I'd
enough
tough it
pressure
out.
for you, right?
I'd tough it out.
Well, you would. You have no choice.
I'm gonna wait years. I'm tough anything.
But the thing is, you
Not
make
doing
faces
anything.
over everything.
I would
That's
make
true.
a damn. I would make it fucking. I would move an inch.
All right.
I'd be
No,
like,
straight face, poker
I'd be
face, the whole
sweating.
thing.
I'd be like, I'm not. Fucking.
So, Dilly, talking about that,
Yeah.
how's your progress to being a better human by cutting out all joy in life?
Oh man, it's pretty good.
What have you done?
I feel good. Like real note, I'm not. Real note, not drinking, but it's not because I'm better than anybody else. I hate people that are like, oh, I'm not drinking.
Okay,
Woo."
anyway, moving on.
So okay, well, done with that. So not drinking, feeling pretty good. I've been running more than just lifting
Okay.
weights. So running tests everything. We talked about that.
Uh-huh.
I just haven't been talking to people that.
You don't do that already.
Well, no. Listen, I'm trying not to react to people, including you. React to people. That it's not necessarily you guys. I'm not. Defensive.
You don't let people get under your skin.
Yeah, I'm not defensive with you guys because you guys are my friends. But yeah, I'm not letting people get under my skin. They're like, oh fuck you, don't. Every dude's been through this. You hang out with the bros, whatever.
Yeah, thicker skin. You're making thicker skin.
I am, which is good for me because I've always laughed stuff off. But now I'm like, yeah, fuck you, bud. Go kick rocks, huh? And I'm fucking keep going. And it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to do that because I feel bad. But
Do you think you get an above average amount of shit thrown at you?
I think
Verbally?
I definitely do. Verbally,
Yeah.
100%. Because I don't usually don't say anything, So someone's like, "Oh fuck you," Like for instance, somebody today, I'm not gonna say who, said, "You got a piece of shit car," and then I called his car a piece of shit. And then he
you
was
got him.
and I got him because he was like, "Wait a minute, this guy's actually
in reality-
saying something."
Yeah.
Who has a nicer car?
I don't know, it's debatable. Maybe me, but
So,
Is it a newer truck?
yeah.
what else are you
okay.
doing to challenge
It's
yourself
nicer.
to be a better person?
Um,
Reading a book?
there's. I'm not reading anything. I am reading your book, but I've been slacking on that one. That's really
Whose fault is that?
It's mine, but I don't like the book if I'm honest. But it's not
Which
because
book?
What's his name?
Kyle Carpenter, awesome book. It's not that I don't like the book, awesome book, but it's
Okay.
more
Okay.
it's more of his story, which is awesome.
Uh-huh.
But it's not necessarily something I can relate with yet. I haven't read
So,
the whole thing.
What part are you on? What do you remember reading?
He after his body got shipped back from
Yep.
Germany.
Mm-hmm.
To Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his parents were just about to go
Mm-hmm.
see him. And that's pretty much
So
where
he's
I'm
at Walter Reed. He's back in the States,
Yeah.
or is he in Germany?
Back in the States.
Okay, so he's at Walter Reed. Yeah, so I would say they did a really good job of like showing this, and this is why you're being a bitch, and you need to fucking actually just like fucking fight through it
All
being a
right,
bitch.
I'll
and just
keep
fucking
going.
read it.
I'll read it.
Because
Keep
how a story works is like it goes up, building interest,
Dragging
and then it kind of goes down a little bit, and this and that. And the only reason for that, and this is where you are, that little down part, it's not that down. If you're actually invested, it's still interesting. It's just not as interesting as it is before, but it is still interesting. And all that does is sets you up because it kind of lowers your expectations and interest by a little
Okay.
bit, and then skyrockets it through the fucking roof again.
Okay.
And that's
I'll
called a
keep,
climax.
I'll keep reading it. I'll keep going.
Yeah, you need to keep reading it because the big thing with that book is kind of just like, obviously you weren't in the military. You didn't jump on a grenade.
That's the thing.
Almost none of us did. But that doesn't fucking matter. No one has to jump on a grenade to know what he went through and understand it.
Yeah.
It's like the symbolism of the
the
story.
symbolism of it and the real meat and potatoes of it is like that you can probably pull from it. You can pull a lot of things. I mean, it's called You're Worth It. So it's like
Yeah.
But there's
That
what he went
symbolism
through
in his-
mentally,
yeah, mentally, and like the
stuff you look at is what he
what
went
held
through
his
physically.
fortitude and kept on like just like you know what, I gotta keep on fucking pushing through.
Right.
Yep.
And like shit like that. Like he ran 3 fucking marathons after getting
ridiculous.
blown up.
It's fucking
Insane.
ridiculous.
Wait, yeah, don't spoil that. I'll keep reading it. But it is insane. What I like is the point of view he tells the story at. Like he's just like anybody else. He's nothing special. He just wanted to be in the military.
Mm-hmm.
and then that was his path. He just felt at the beginning of the book, he's like, this is what I got to do. I feel like it's right. He told his parents, and of course they're like, trying to support it, but they're like, don't do that. It's dangerous. And then, and that's what made him who
yeah, so it's like it's like so hard for me to like comprehend you not being able to reach any symbolism, and it makes me feel like there's something wrong with you, honestly, because it's like, honestly, because it's just like a regular dude, and a regular dude did an above and beyond thing with a regular action.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
That's all he did. He did a gut reaction. His parents were like, "Don't take the risk. Don't go to the Marines. If you're going to go to the Marines, be admin, be this. Don't do infantry." He said, "I'm going to be infantry." He took risks, not because like it was the safe bet or anything like that. He took risks because he knew it was going to be a fuller experience.
And he didn't listen to other people.
So like, take risks.
Yeah.
Why don't you take risks? Take that full experience, and it's like, and like. The average human being, all of us are fucking average human beings. But now you can fucking believe in yourself because it doesn't take a fucking superhero to save a life. It doesn't take a superhero to make a life-altering decision. A regular human being got recognized and got shown, and he did an amazing, beyond amazing act of humanity by saving his friend's life by jumping on a grenade.
Yep.
All because he didn't think about it, and he just went by the instinct and just did what he did.
Need to be done.
And it was just an average human doing what he saw as an average experience of standing post.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome.
Ridiculous story. So, read the book.
Yeah, I'll read the rest of it. Another thing that I read that was interesting that I kind of, I'm not going to say I'm going to get into.
I would say it's way better than your piece of shit Steve Harvey.
Dude, okay. Wait. Okay, so I'll explain the difference here.
Down the drain.
Me personally,
okay,
I like books that tell me 100% I need a straight, like, sauce. Like Steve Harvey.
Extra flavor.
Yeah. This, not saying Kyle Carpenter's book is not good. He's telling his whole story. I'm just waiting for me to relate to it. The Steve Harvey thing, definitely not Kyle Carpenter. Way different. Just, but he talks about stuff you can relate with, those conversations, like the conversations you have with yourself where you're like, I don't know if I could do this, everyone's got a lot of those. Steve Harvey had more of those, and then he would still get up on the stage, talk, whatever. But Kyle Carpenter is another point of view because he, it's not like he wasn't confident in going in the military. He just wanted to do it. But then that's good for me to learn because he didn't care what anybody else thought. So it's a different perspective for both of them. But yeah.
A lot to take from both of them, though.
Yes.
That's the point.
It's still good information. Regardless, I should be reading that. I should be reading
reading that back to the original point.
Yep.
What else are you doing? Using that planner?
I haven't used the planner. Actually,
you have?
Yes, I've been using the planner, which is crazy for me.
Writing down stuff?
Writing down stuff,
writing
yeah.
things down. Can you believe it?
And I feel like it's great because I'm getting better at not like distracting myself. Like usually you get home, I used to watch a lot more, like you'd see me here. I used to watch a lot more YouTube. I feel Netflix. Now I'm chilling out.
I swear almost every show you fucking like, oh, you seen that?
I used to fly through Netflix, but now I get home, I think for a little bit, take a few minutes. I'm like, okay, I can clean my room, but I'm not just cleaning my room. I clean my room and I think about stuff I have to do, add it to the planner if I need to. And even little things.
You're just having a schedule throughout the day.
Yeah, keeping myself busy, but with purpose.
Yeah.
So I'm not distracted just by entertaining myself. Because a lot of people do that when they get home from work.
Yeah.
So there's that. But, yeah, I'm brainstorming. I was going to say I read, it was, what was that? I don't know. I read it somewhere. But maybe it was like a video or something. But this guy was talking about how if you write down 20 things you can do to make $100,000 a year, right? He said, don't stop until you reach 20. And he said, statistically, like one of those could be something that you end up loving, and then you end up making a living off of that. So instead of thinking like, what am I going to do with my life? What's my, gift or whatever, this another thing Steve Harvey was talking about. You write down 20 things that you can do to make $100,000, even if it's simple stuff. Simple stuff like.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just cool to brainstorm. It's called mindstorming. That's what they call it. Mindstorming.
I think, and the planner is a great thing, and that might be something that's huge. And I think Tanner can attest to this. One is reading all these books and stuff like that. Like, I the Steve Harvey lessons and everything else. Like that's good and all. And like Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last stuff. Like those are all really good books that like give really good advice. But like, it doesn't mean a crock of shit. Yeah. Unless you're actually going to put it into action, kind of thing.
Definitely.
So like, that's the one thing that I see that like almost all people, like, I mean, me too, everybody's done it, where they just read something and it probably is great advice, or they watch a video and it's great advice, great thing to do, really simple, this and that. And they're like, yeah, totally, I'd totally do that. Don't ever do it.
And they don't do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
that's like,
that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's cool to read a book and say, wow, that was so insightful. I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anyway, back to what I was doing, kind of thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
And
that's
like,
tough.
it's like, I think like everyone has to have their like light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Where like you have to have a light, like you don't just stumble into it and go, oh wow, I'm doing what they said to do. Like it, and it's been working for the past 3 years. It doesn't happen like that. Like you just like say, fuck it, I'll try it. Yeah. I'll do something that they said in the book, and then it works out in real life, and you're like,
I think,
damn, I need to go back and actually read that actually proper and do everything.
That's kind of where I've been the last like 2 months. That's exactly what I've been. Like because I read and finished the Start with Why one, Simon Sinek, my God, I crushed that book in just a few weeks.
Yeah,
but absolutely crushed that book, and I just all the stuff he said, I was like, I just got to try a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
that's where now I'm going to the gym consistently, running decently. I was supposed to run today, but it's the first day I missed a long time. Not from when I started, but essentially been really consistent doing that, the gym, reading, and like starting a business, stuff like that. So,
and I feel like staying busy,
trying a lot of stuff.
I've noticed, at least with myself too, staying busy like that.
Yeah.
When you're not busy, you're like, I'm supposed to be doing something.
Right.
Like versus when I used to do nothing, and then you just like, you don't think about it. But once you start moving, it's hard to stop.
But I think you like, I don't know, I could totally be wrong, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Dilly, but I just feel like you need that like light bulb moment.
I do. I need to figure out, my thing is a lot of people, like, I don't know what I want to do, and instead of trying shit, and possibly meeting somebody or something that introduces me to my career or whatever I want to do.
You're looking for it, like,
from
afar?
I'm looking for that specific thing instead of trying what I have around me, and then seeing, what works out. So that's what I need, yeah. And
why don't you bring the experience to you, or the light bulb to you? Like,
yeah.
I wasn't looking for like my light bulb moment. My light bulb moment was after reading Extreme Ownership, and I was on deployment. And like I kind of already did it, but not really. But like the whole section of Extreme Ownership where it was just like, it was that really, really hit me was the whole, a good leader, it's never your subordinate's fault when something happens. It's the leader's fault because they did not prepare and they did not provide properly. Get your fucking feet out of the frame.
Bro, I'm hot,
I don't care. I have boots on.
True.
Leather boots on.
Let my toes breathe.
The dogs can stay down. Yeah, but it's just like, fuck, you got me off the track. Yeah, so it was, it was just like
leaders eat.
Yeah, and last. So like I was in a meeting, and some shit didn't happen. Like 25 rifles were behind on their quarterly maintenance checkup kind of thing. Like you had to do annual, semi-annual, quarterly checks on all these guns to make sure all of them are inspect, they're not rusting, not doing this, they're doing that, blah, 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 everything else and whatnot. And 20 guns weren't done. And they saw that and they were like, and I wasn't certified to work on the guns. I was an optic tech, but I was in charge of the small arms tech that could do that. And it was my job to make sure he would get it done. And I was just trying to be buddy with him because it was like, 2 months into the deployment, and I was like, I can't be an asshole to him yet, because if I'm an asshole to him now, the next 5 months is going to be a fucking living hell.
Yeah.
So I need to fucking tread lightly and this and that, and I kind of just let him slack around, and it never got around to it. But like also one of my job that the other guys on the ship told me I had to do was take these guys that I was in charge of to the meetings so they could learn how those meetings were ran and how to act at those meetings so they could run the meetings themselves eventually, hopefully by the end of deployment. So they saw what I did, and after reading that book, they asked me why the fuck those guns weren't being done. And before, I used to just point the finger at them and say, answer for yourself.
Yeah.
You were the one that was supposed to do it. Can you explain why? And I would make them own up to it. But instead, and he was getting ready to stand up and explain why he didn't do it and like get in trouble for himself. But instead, I just didn't let him talk. I didn't let him stand up. And I said, that was my fault. I didn't organize properly. It's not going to happen again. And we're going to get right on it. And it's going to be done by the end of the day. I didn't even have to talk to him. And he went and did it in his own. And he thanked me for making sure that he didn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I was like...
And you didn't get in that much trouble.
I didn't get in that much trouble either, because they
honest.
all expected me to just throw him under the bus, because they all knew too. They knew I wasn't certified in it. They knew he was. So when they saw me say, no,
They're like,
I was in charge to make sure that was getting done, and I didn't make sure it didn't get done. They were like, whoa.
Yeah.
And they just kind of left it. I didn't get in trouble. He didn't get in trouble. We got it all done, and we had a better connection afterwards because of it.
That is huge.
And that was a huge light bulb moment.
Yeah.
I have kind of one of those similar to that. It was at, it's very minimal compared to that. Something really quick. But I was, at my last job, I was working, and I would leave early sometimes because I wasn't like the boss or anything, right? So I would get to leave early. I would close up with one other person every night, but they would let me leave sometimes. So just like 20 minutes early, just get home a little bit early. Makes a big difference when it's midnight. But
that's true.
So you obviously put everything away when you close them. Make sure it's all nice and everything. My boss the next day comes up to me and goes, what's this? He has a picture of it, and it's like a bunch of stuff was out and everything. And I'm like,
I broke into you.
And somebody else was closing that night. They let me go early, and then they didn't do it. But I said, my bad. Won't happen again. Even though I wasn't the one that left it out. But so it was just like I wanted to so bad. Like that feeling of like, oh, God, I want to tell them exactly what happened, but it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
It wouldn't do anything. So
exactly. And neither one of us were searching for a ding, ding, ding moment. We were just
find it.
That moment happened, and we capitalized on it. So I think like
it's not even a second. It's fractions. You just have to make that decision.
Yeah. So I don't. So maybe you searching like. I need to find that moment. I need to find like my into the industry. I need to find this. I need to, like, I think it might be better for you to just create your own opportunity. Like,
so
create the situation that you're in as the opportunity until that opportunity becomes a better situation. So, and then that better situation brings other situations that could be even better.
Yeah. And I think another thing I was talking to Tanner about too is I know what I like, of course, car shit. Right. I don't know why I don't find like a little like I have the car as a project. That's cool. But like, why don't I rebuild? Like I could easily get like a fucking. Of course, it sounds ridiculous, but like a little lawnmower. If I had a truck, I would get like
a lawnmower. You could get a fucking
motorcycle,
2-stroke dirt bike.
Rebuild the engine or something.
Yeah, like
find what I like to do.
Yeah, you could do stuff. You can film it. You can put it on YouTube. And that's you creating your situation better. Instead of letting something come to you, you're making it come to you. You're bringing it to yourself instead of just going around.
Stumbling upon it.
And wondering.
That's the thing is, and in worst case, okay, it doesn't work. I tried it, but like, I think that's something I always want, like a little project, something to work on. So.
Yeah, like I think.
YouTube,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the California Gold Rush, the richest man that came out of the California Gold Rush wasn't the guy that stumbled on the first gold nugget. It was the guy that heard about it, made a plan, went there, and executed his plan.
Yeah.
He was the richest one to come out of it, not the guy that stumbled on it.
Yeah.
So.
I think for this.
Which type of person do you want to be?
Yeah. Goes for anybody, but need to have. I was actually listening to this motivated the shit out of me. Arnold Schwarzenegger was on this podcast.
Right.
I don't know what podcast it was, but he was talking about how he was like, everybody's got to have a goal in life, obviously, you know. And he said, whether it's just a small goal, just something. He's like, you wake up in the morning, you're like, this is my next step. I need to do, you know, to reach this goal. And he said, otherwise, like most people, most guys too, you know, nowadays you're wandering. Otherwise, you're wandering. You're like, I don't know what I need to do, and you just don't think about it. But if you have a goal, then that's something you get motivated. So that's what I'm trying to do too, figure it out. So, yeah,
That's good.
pretty solid one.
That's good. Probably ended up there.
What?
Yeah, we're at hour and a half.
We have so much.
We could talk about it next week.
Probably next week.
Dude.
It's a long one, not to cut it off, but
Opening that window helped a lot.
yeah, it did. It's pretty damn hot in here.
See what I'm saying?
It's pretty damn hot in here. I cannot lie.
Yeah, exactly. You did it right when you opened it. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's real nice.
It's real nice breeze.
So, really interesting topics. I really the river one, the buffalo one, but mainly that one was fucking.
If only
It's
Dylan
really
watched the
interesting.
videos.
I know, seriously.
If only-
I'd actually be interested. I just forgot to click. Tanner was like, "You watch the video?"
No, you just didn't want to.
No, I actually forgot. I'm not gonna.
Forgot makes way more sense for this guy. So.
No, I truly. It's not like I'm not. Another thing I'm working on is not lying. I'm not saying I've been lying to people,
That's good.
but sometimes we're like, I don't know, maybe, you know. But now I'm just like, no, you know, if I, you know, someone's.
I think I less lie. I just more exaggerate.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, I'll think about it. Anybody that knows me, especially me a few years ago, oh, I'll think about it. Like,
Hard no.
No.
Hard no.
Now I'm like, no.
Hard as no.
Yeah.
But that's better.
So,
No, the thing that you do now
Uh-oh.
ah, shit.
is, do you want to go out on the weekend? Yeah, let me know. Okay, yeah, we're doing that. Okay, yeah, just remind me.
Don't go.
Okay, and then you remind him like 8 hours before, and he's like, yeah, no.
Well, I'll tell you why, too. I'm an anxious person, and I'm not blaming it because I'm not like a ball of anxiety.
Everybody has anxiety.
But
certain levels.
I need to try to get out of my comfort zone more.
Exactly.
That's all it
Yeah.
is.
That's
That's
it.
all it
That's
is.
all. Step
but
by
you,
step.
yeah, but you just keep on letting yourself go back like this. That's why I'm saying it's like you need to like force yourself. Like learning all these lessons is all fine, but like when you just like let yourself fall back into I'm gonna just stay at home.
I just not.
That's every lesson goes out the window every single time
Yeah.
you just go. I'm just gonna stay at home.
Well, I'm not. Another thing is I'm not a city guy, which it sounds ridiculous, but I don't really like the city. So that's like a weird thing for me. It's a lot of people for me. Like when we were in,
Well, yeah. A
which,
lot of people.
which I need to get out of my comfort zone more. But
Yeah.
remember when we were in Nashville? We were going that was the most people I've been around. I remember my heart was pounding. I was like, I felt like puking. And I think I even told you that. I was like, there's so many people. And so I was like, fuck. But yeah, like I should just need to. I need to.
Yeah,
get
you
out.
need to get out because like
That's how life is, you know.
you need to meet people.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to meet every single person at the bar, and you like could meet outdoorsy people, but you're not gonna meet a single outdoorsy person
So
in your room.
you're right. I like. How about other than bars or like downtown? I should like be hiking at little spots more if I want to do that, or like just being out more. So that's what I'll do.
Yeah, there's the Green
Do
Belt.
that. Green Belt, yeah.
There's
Heard a lot
the
of.
Boise River to fish. There's South Fork over by Mountain
Yeah.
Home.
That's not bad, yeah.
There's tons of things.
So I'll do that. I'll invite you guys if I think of something.
We're floating the river this year.
Oh yeah.
When can we do that before it's like after it's like because you guys went early one year.
Yeah.
Last year it was really cold.
I would say maybe
August.
June.
June, July,
June?
June is the earliest probably, so it's not.
frigid.
It
Well,
was
we
fucking
could do-
cold last
Yeah,
year.
Do it
we
in May.
Yeah, we could do it.
So cold last year.
We could do it, and then we could watch Dilly literally just like fucking
Bro, I couldn't
shudder like a
fucking-
leaf.
The thing is, I don't
He
get
won't paddle that way though.
I don't get cold. I get just fucking stiff like a
Well, yeah,
dead
that's what
fucking-
happens.
No, I can't move. Male's like paddle, and I'm like chicken wing. Like I'm like I'm trying, my muscles won't work, and everyone's like it's not that cold, but my body is so susceptible. Just I don't know what it is.
We've been over this so many times, and I'm never going to let it die. Dilly would not paddle. He refused to paddle. He would ask other people to paddle when it's not that important.
It's because okay, I'll explain to the people that are listening. I can paddle. I'm sitting in this tube. I can paddle. It is uncomfortable, and I'm going to be a bitch. I'm going to say it. I have back problems. It is uncomfortable.
Oh, man. Pulls the back
uncomfortable to move my back. So I can swing my arms, but sitting there paddling
literally
back and forth,
his hand
really
is in the fucking water.
And I slap it like a dog.
Yeah, so we're like, hey, Dilly, so that way we're not hitting the rocks and like fucking 200 feet up the river. Just do like a little bit of... And he's like... Yeah, that hurts too much. You guys just do it and it'll work out okay.
Well,
he just drags us. and then the motherfucker, and he's like, nah, I can't. And then
no, it's not that.
Then the rocks show up and you see this motherfucker go, help me, help me, help me. And it's like, well, where the fuck was your paddling before? You said you couldn't, but now you can. Now that it's important. Now that you hit a fucking rock. Now you hit a fucking rock. You know what you could have done? Paddle.
Have a dream. I'm just kidding. So I think... No, so I'll explain. I know I've gotten to the point in my life where I know there's certain things. See, I just can't fucking. I'm not gonna try.
Gives up already.
I'm not gonna try. So there's certain things where I know.
You could have done this.
Look at the size. Right. Look at the size of your hands. Hold your hand up, and I'm just size of hands, large hand. My hand's not gonna do shit. You got paddles. I'm gonna let you paddle.
Paddles.
Like, it's not that I don't necessarily.
Built-in paddles.
Everyone else just can do a lot more.
You can, yeah.
I can help. I'll help. But I remember, I would
like
freak
10
out. 10
times the power, right?
That's why everyone was like, just hit the fucking rock, because it was just like.
Dude.
That's why, because literally it was just like we saw two different things. Like when it wasn't that important to him, he would just do this.
I would help.
And we would be like, why aren't you helping? All you're doing is like touching the water with the tips.
I was helping.
And that was it. And he's like, that's all I can do, man. And it's like, okay, if that's all you can do.
You want me to fucking lock my fucking hands together.
But
I don't want it to be a fucking Olympic race.
No, we're not asking you to do that. We're asking you to instead of do this, instead of like just slapping the clit, just like do a full fucking scoop.
My arms are the fucking size of my fucking legs. I don't have any fucking...
A full scoop. That's all we were asking. All you would do is move your wrist. You were just doing wrist.
I didn't do a lot, yes.
All you did was wrist. You didn't do arm. You did wrist.
Well, Steph
and
Curry
you were like, that's all I can
fuck
off. And you were like, that's all I can do. And we're like, okay, if that's all he can do, let's see when he hits the rocks. If he's still doing this when he's hitting the rocks, then that's all he can do, and we'll try to help him more. But when you're about to hit the rock, you stop doing this, and you start doing this, and it's like,
because I'm gonna fucking die. I don't have a choice.
And do this all the time.
I know I don't want to be on death's doorstep every second of the river.
Yeah, but that's how the river works. If you do, this 3 times before the rocks, like at 200 feet before the rocks, all you had to do was 3 of those, and then you're done.
Yeah.
But you don't do any of that until you're at the rock, and then you're at the rock, and you're like,
it's not, it's because I
and now you
do
65 of them.
I weigh how much?
Then why would you not
peanuts? And I'm sitting on the fucking.
You know why you weigh that much?
Shut up! I'm sitting here on a bunch of all these tubes tied together with fucking grown ass men, and you're bitching at me about paddling. I'm like, motherfucker, I just broke 100 pounds. You guys are like in the 200s and up. You're carrying the mass. There's no way I can. There's no way I can do shit. And I just look at the logic.
No,
you
can participate.
I can participate, but it's not going to do much. So it appears that I don't do anything, but really, it is not that I am in fact not contributing, but contributing my weight.
Okay, we need the comments to tell us. We need it because it doesn't make sense to me, Dilly. If you're 100, just broke 100 pounds, and
really
you can only use so much of your
have a banana for fucking whole meal for the whole
and
day.
you can only use so much of your energy at a certain amount of time. Why would you not do it where you just had to do 3 slow, long strokes instead of putting yourself in a situation where you have to do 65 crazy strokes, and now you're like, I don't know. When you could have just like 300 feet before, if you just listened to us, you could have been like 1, 2.
It's a good point,
3.
but I can't do much. I don't do much.
But you do it at The Rock. That's what I'm fucking saying.
That's a fucking clip.
At the Rock.
The Rock.
You do it at The
Well,
Rock.
it's because it's dire. It's
Exactly.
What-
So if you can do it then, you can do it before.
No, because I'm
It's
fucking-
not like God fucking went, bah! You can fucking do it now. And then you just left The Rock and he goes, bah! I'm taking it away, bitch. No, you could have done it all along.
Yeah, if I want my heart rate to be 160 beats per minute when I'm on a fucking lazy river,
Well, it's gonna be 185 when
I
your
don't wanna do
skull
that.
breaks onto a fucking rock, you dumb bitch. That's why I'm saying instead of get to 165, go to 115. You stupid piece of fucking shit.
Like the way you're treating me. That is just uncalled for.
I don't like how you're a fucking beat up bitch.
Dude, I'm the one.
You're a cuck.
I can't believe the way that you're talking to me.
All right, that's
All right, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. But I'll keep that in mind next time.
You're so fucking weak. A bear would use you as a condom to fuck a deer. You're so fucking pointless. He
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
even
dude,
use you as
look,
meat. He
yeah,
would use you to wrap
you know
his
what?
fucking dicks and fucking rip you apart
Yeah.
with his fucking hog.
You know, and you're just, you know what you are? You're a paperweight. That's what you are. All right, we're ending the episode, wrapping it up.
Well,
That's
at least
all
he
we
You
is.
know what you are?
Uh-oh.
Go ahead. Fuck. Here we go.
You know what you are, baby?
Don't-
You know what you are, you little baby?
Oh
You
my
little wee
God,
baby?
don't.
Huh? You know what you are?
Go ahead. That's not. Don't.
You know what you are? You remember when your mom made pasta? And you eat all that pasta, and it's great pasta.
like
And then
pasta.
you're
I
like,
like
and they're like, put the dishes in the sink, and you're like, okay. And then, but it's late, and so no one does the dishes, and you wake up to get a bowl of cereal, and then
like
there's no
cereal.
bowls left,
I
and
do
so
like
you like look in the sink, and you see that bowl of late night
looking
pasta, and
at
there's
you.
that one squiggly noodle that's fucking crusty and hard as shit now, and
compare
like
me to
doesn't
that.
look like a fucking living thing.
Don't
That's
compare me to
you.
Fuck, dude.
You are a fucking dried worm on the sidewalk. You are the crusty spaghetti noodle in a bowl. And you could stop that if you break free, but instead you say,
Jesus Christ. The cat jumped so
Hey,
bad.
that's what you are.
That's really good. It's a good analogy.
60% chance that you jerk off to Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh, wait.
don't
All
think
right,
that
we're
is-
leaving it there. Have a great
All
time.
Their speakers just got blown out.
I
of
hope
their
you
car.
learned something from this.
I learned
did.
a lot.